Everybody, Matthew back. Those of you that watched my last video knows my surroundings have changed. So anyway, I said that I was going to start a new build, restart a new build because I already started it. I showed what it was, but now we've actually got to start working on it, and that's going to be the Foose custom Cadillac Eldorado. I'm trying not to look over here because my monitor is now over there and I'm looking at you here. So anyway, I'm going to spin you around, which I've already done all this before, and I had it on picture, not video, and I wasted a lot of time. But anyway, I'm going to spin you around, get you down here, and actually show you what I've got going on, and then I'll bring you back for another update way after that. So let me get you spun around here and I'll show you what we got going on. Okay, so as I said in the last one, I had already started. I had the chassis already painted, so I stripped that. Took a matter of 5 minutes maybe to get all the lacquer, primer, and paint off. The engine was completely painted and assembled, so I completely stripped it and disassembled it except for the heads and the intake I left on. But later on I went ahead and took the intake off because I'm going to do something different with the engine. So those remember way back a long time ago, I had resin printed or designed and printed a 429 stock engine. Well, I went back in and modified some of the parts to fit the 502 cubic big block Chevy engine that's in this. So this is my intake that I have for the Ford engine, which I've now modified to fit the Chevy engine. So as you can see, it now fits the big block Chevy perfectly in all ways. And then I went back to the supercharger and made it thicker, a little longer. I extended the ends of it a little bit, just kind of redone it all, made it look a little better, and made that to fit also the intake. So now that will fit the big block Chevy as well. So I was going to throw that up a little bit, give that a pretty good look. And then we went back to the carbs I had, and we totally redesigned those, made them taller, a little bit longer, and added the linkages to the side, some more detail to the inside of them. Just kind of remade them look a little better. They now have, excuse the paint on my fingers, I spilled out my airbrush. Now on the ends here, there's 2 ports, 2 holes on each end for fuel lines to come in. And then of course, like I said, we have the linkage here on the side for the fuel and for the flap for for that thing. So now we have the linkages all built in, so all we gotta do is I had holes in it, but they're so small that of course the printer filled those in, so we just drill those back out. And the linkage, the cable or the wires are already pre-printed onto it. So we have that already pre-installed. So the 2 of those now will go on to this all back together. We'll all go on to that, which is now going to be that tall. And then we remade the lower hat. So we lengthened that. We didn't do anything with the height, we just lengthened it. Left everything else the same. We had to lengthen it because we didn't want it to hit the carb. The end of it would hit the carb. So now that will sit well on top of everything else. which will extremely raise it up. And somehow I'm going to have to figure out how to cut a hole in the hood to get it to fit around all this junk. And so that'll all be done. And I already had pre-printed the, so I didn't have to redo them, all the pulleys for the blower belts. So I have all the pulleys already done. So I got 3 pulleys, 1 pulley there. We'll have 2 pulleys on the engine. One will be in the water pump, one will be in the harmonic balancer. So I have those. I'm going to be putting one of my distributors on that are printed with the holes already printed open, so they're already pre-drilled, with the vacuum advance already installed. You can see the vacuum advance on it. There it is. There it is. Vacuum advance already on it. There's the top part's printed in clear, so it makes it kind of hard to see. But the bottom pops off, so it might be able to show up better that it's printed open. Yeah, they're printed open. So we have that. We have the little breather for the top of the valve cover, so we're going to put that on. An inline, last time I made, there we go, a little bit, inline fuel filter. This it's hollow on the end. You can't see it, but it's hollow here on top. Oh, there you go. For the fuel line to go through, these little nubs come off, so it's hollow already for that to come through. So just run the fuel line through it, and then you get your little ball fuel line, or fuel filter rather. So we're gonna put one of those on. We have our, please excuse the fingers, I've been messing with other stuff here all day. The coil, I always say it wrong, coil, and I have the bracket to hold that down. Also printed, I can't get to go over it, but there's the bracket to hold that down wherever the coil just went. There it is. There's the coil with the bracket to hold that down. And of course the spark plugs that we'll be using. And then here's a whole bunch of the, I don't know if I can get them to show or not, the little the little 90s. They have the nut on the end with the pipe in the middle, the nut on each end. They're like red and blue and whatever. They're all still in the little way they printed there. Yeah, there you might be able to see one. So we're going to put one of those on each end of the carb. Well, 2 actually on each end of the carb. Turn it off, and then we'll have the fuel lines going into those. And then I'm thinking about, this was on the original engine, which was the fuel rail. Thinking about just going and running that underneath the, well, it ain't gonna fit. I had thought about putting that underneath this, and then having the fuel line come off of that, but looks like it's not gonna fit, so scratch that. So anyways, that's where I'm at, and I'll come back later on after I've got this thing pipe painted, assembled, and maybe we'll start some other detail work then. So let me get this started, and we'll talk to you later on, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye bye for now.